Season 3 of Fatal Seduction really shook things up for the Malati family, and if you've already finished it, you know exactly what I mean. So today, let's talk about what a potential Season 4 could look like. The plot, the cast, and everything we can theorize based on where the story left off. Season 3 recap and setup. So to set the stage, Season 3 throws Nandi and her younger lover Jacob into a seriously dangerous situation when Jacob gets accused of killing his own fiancée, Kim. But here's the twist. The whole thing turns out to be a revenge plot set up by Sandra, a complicated figure from Jacob's past who is dead set on destroying his life. She ultimately doesn't succeed, but Jacob still ends up backed into a corner, and the way it all unravels changes everything for Nandi. By the end of the season, Nandi finally discovers Jacob's darkest secrets, and that's what pushes her to cut ties with him for good. But knowing this show and knowing Nandi's self-destructive patterns, can she really stay away? That question alone is reason enough to want a Season 4. Now, Netflix hasn't made any official announcements about a renewal just yet, but if they greenlight it quickly, we could potentially be looking at a Season 4 dropping in early 2028. Season 4 plot, Nandi and Jacob. So what could Season 4 actually look like? Let's start with the big one, Nandi and Jacob. Season 3 ends with Nandi making a very deliberate choice to free herself from Jacob's grip. And honestly, it's been a long time coming. Throughout the entire show, her obsession with him has pulled her into one dark situation after another. This season really drove that home, because right up until the very end, Jacob is still using her. The climax literally shows him holding a knife to her throat, trying to use her as a human shield to save himself. That's the moment she finally decides to close that chapter of her life. Jacob ends the season in handcuffs, but his fate? Still pretty unclear. And this show has a history of bringing characters back after a stint in jail, so it's very likely he'll re-enter Nandi's life in Season 4, possibly with a burning desire for revenge. Now, if the show sticks with Nandi's journey of actually letting go of this obsession, we can expect a real push and pull dynamic in the early episodes. But if her conviction starts to crack, and let's be real, it might, she could find herself falling right back into that toxic, destructive relationship all over again. Season 4 cast, who's returning and who's leaving. Now let's talk cast, because there's a pretty significant change coming. The core group of characters we've come to know are largely expected to return. So you can likely look forward to seeing Gomazzo Christopher back as Nandi, Prince Grootboom as Jacob, Nathaniel Ramabalana as Vuyo, and Gelakanyo Ramalandi as Z. On the supporting side, Frances Sholto Douglas as Laura, Z's ex-girlfriend, is also expected to return, along with Thuso, the new character introduced in Season 3. But here's the big departure. Leonard, Nandi's ex-husband, dies in Season 3. It's unexpected, it's impactful, and it means actor Thapelo Mokena will most likely be leaving the show. That's a significant loss for the cast. On the bright side though, with no clear villain set up heading into a potential Season 4, the show has plenty of room to introduce fresh new characters and a brand new antagonist. Season 4 plot, Z's story. And then there's Z, Zinle Malati, who honestly had one of the most packed character arcs this season. She loses her father, Leonard. She comes to terms with the fact that she's biologically related to Vuyo. She makes real strides in her career as a forensics analyst in the police department, and she even starts rebuilding her connection with Laura, her ex-girlfriend and former best friend who had basically become a stranger to her over the years. That is a lot of emotional ground covered in one season. Going into Season 4, all of that sets Z up really well. Her role in law enforcement is almost certainly going to keep tying into the show's crime-driven storylines. Her professional relationship with Thuso, who was actually her late father's girlfriend, could develop into an interesting mentor-mentee dynamic. And of course, the door is wide open for her relationship with Laura to be explored further, whether that's as friends or something more. While Nandi's story is still a little open-ended, Z's path feels like it has a very clear direction, and that's exciting. So that's everything we know and can theorize about Fatal Seduction Season 4 so far. Are you hoping Netflix renews it? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you in the next one.